Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rumour Mill with Conor McGilligan. Hope you're doing fantastically well, and we are back here with another Rumour Mill, and it is the first one of the week. So, how you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Monday. Hope you've got a good week planned. It's a nice sunny day. If you're off work, lucky you. That's all I'll say. If you're, if you're a student, if you're on the way to university, well done. Hello. If you're doing whatever. It is me, and we are back with another episode of the Rumour Mill. And we're going to be going over a few things today. And listen, I'm not going to profess to say that there is an abundance of news out there, but I'm doing my best to provide you with the news that will satisfy you for the week, really, hopefully, and it'll get Leeds on that sort of trajectory to be able to sign players. That's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm hoping. But let's get in to your Rumour Mill. Morning, Connor says, Rico. Morning, hello, hi from Doncaster. Hey, mate, hello, Jack. LUFC Johnny. Morning, Connor, hello. Great context, mate. Marching on together. We're kidnapping Ben White. Big up the girlfriend's couch, says Dean. All right, mate. Smash my GCSEs. Good lad, Tommy. Proud of you, mate. Hi, Connor. Where's our players? Big Paul. Big Paul. How are you doing, mate? I hope everyone's doing really well in the chat. So let's get into it anyway. Let's get into what is going on with Leeds United. There's 167 of you watching. If you wouldn't mind slapping a like on the video, share it to your friends. And of course, make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. If you want to donate to the Patreon, I think we've got 8 members now, 8 loyal members, additional content on there every week. Hit the link in the description below. If you want to join the Fantasy Premier League, link in the description below. You want to join the Discord, link in the description below. We're all about the community here on the Rumour Mill. So let's get into it anyway. Now, Leeds United, there's been several rumours going on this weekend, of course. Now, the main one that I'm going to get into is going to be in a little bit. But first of all, we are sponsored, obviously, by Ship Bikes USA. Get all your customized, tailored, detailed bikes for everyone's individual need at shipbikesusa.com. Now, the first rumour comes from Lewis Koch. Now, Leeds United are apparently tracking Lewis Koch, ex-Leeds United player. Leeds United are plotting a reunion with Bournemouth midfielder Lewis Koch. The Whites are keen to bring the midfielder back to Ellen Road 4 years since selling him to the Cherries for just £6 million. According to the Daily Star, Bournemouth would listen to offers for Koch, but would want to listen to 15 million. Koch made 85 appearances for Leeds after emerging through their academy before his move to the South Coast. Now, this is a really interesting one. A really interesting one for me for Lewis Koch. Now, I don't know whether or not this would be one that I would go for. Now, hold on. Lewis Koch, is he a good player? Of course he's a good player. We saw some absolute miracles. His goal against Fulham was a goal that I don't think I've ever seen and will ever see at Ellen Road again. An absolute blockbuster of a goal. But yeah, a wonderful little player. Really good little player on his day. Was solid. I remember him at Derby away with that Chris Wood goal where it just went, Wood! Chris Wood hits the post in 2-1 Leeds Derby in the yellow kit, no sponsor. Remember that game, Lewis Koch was absolutely instrumental. And throughout that whole season, the Chileno sort of era, he was brilliant, Lewis Koch. One of the standouts, including Moet for me. I always thought Koch was definitely the cream of the crop with all the youngsters. And he went on to do brilliant things in terms of going to Premier League football at such a young age. Now, if you're asking me, would I take Lewis Koch now? No, and there's a reason behind that. I think someone like Jamie Shackleton is, from a young age, a better prospect than Lewis Koch. I think there's more to his game. I think he gets forward a lot more. He'll score more goals than Lewis Koch. And I think Shackleton is a very, very similar player. Very combative, can get forward, obviously defensively very good as well. And he's, from a lot of youth reports, he's one of the best prospects we've produced in 10 years, Jamie Shackleton. So to develop someone like Shackleton, to make someone like him better, is something that I would definitely prefer. And Lewis Koch, don't get me wrong, great player, great little player. We could get him for a snippet as well, but I don't really know if he'd fit into this Leeds United side. Danny Mills has backed Leeds United in a bid to bring back Lewis Koch. I would like to see him back at Leeds because he's a quality player. His opportunities were pretty limited at Bournemouth. Sometimes it's difficult to come back, and they all say never go back. But on this occasion, it's worked out for players. He was young when he left Leeds, so there is no reason why he couldn't come back. but I'm not convinced that Leeds are going to go do an awful lot in the transfer market because Bielsa likes a small, tight squad. I think they'll add 2 or 3 players minimum, yada, yada, yada. Now, Danny Mills, I think he's spot on there. Look, if you're looking at players that Leeds need to sign, I don't think Lewis Koch is on the to-do list. I really don't. I don't see why he would be one who we'd bring in terms of players that we need to bring in, players that Leeds need as a necessity for the Premier League. And, even with Lewis in himself, has he proven it in the Premier League? Do we need to go get him for an injection of quality for the Premier League? I think he's a very good player, but has he done it at that level? Has he made his mark? Is he going to be that signing that Leeds have to go and get to reach that next level, to be able to compete? Or do Leeds need to be looking in a better market right now? Young English talent, of course, it's going to cost Leeds a lot of money, even dependent on Bournemouth. Even if they need the money, it's going to cost Leeds a lot of money. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. A lot of people talking about Sam Greenwood. Let's have a look at what some of you guys are saying. Cook not worth 15 million, says Big Mally. Vieira, a better option. Interesting. We'll get on to Ronaldo Vieira in a little bit. A lot of people talking about, Cook. Don't want Cook. He left when we were, and now the tables have turned. He wants to come back. Damien, you are ace. Good morning. Hello, my friend. Let's get into the next rumours. But I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure it's one of those that we need to go in for, if I'm being brutally honest. Now, the next rumour is circulating round the Arsenal centre-back, Rob Holding. A lot of people turning around and saying they don't want Holding, they don't want this, they don't want that, which I completely understand. But it seems like Rob Holding could be available for a decent fee. Arsenal defender Rob Holding is free to complete a transfer to Leeds, according to reports. The Gunners centre-back is reportedly one of 15 players up for sale at the Emirates as Mikel Arteta targets a huge summer overhaul. Holding at just 24, made 8 appearances for the Londoners last season. William Saliba, obviously, is going to be the main player. And Magales, I believe, is the player that they're signing today from Lille. And according to the Star Premier League New Boys, Leeds are keen to take him off the Gunners' hand. And Bielsa is desperate to bolster his defence. Now, this one, could I see it happening predictability-wise? Yes, I could see this happening. Reason being is because he plays that football out from the back. He's a decent player on the ball, tall, sort of fits the Leeds blueprint. He's cheap as well. I think this could happen. I really do, the Rob Holding rumour. I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to bolster the defensive shape in terms of Robin Koch. I think that is still going to be a goer. I don't think the smoke without fire with regards to Robin Koch. I think Leeds are going to get that one over the line. I thoroughly do. A lot of panic at this moment in time. Phil Hay came out the weekend, said there's been no movement on Robin Koch, but that doesn't mean that it is not happening. Leeds United keeping everything close to the chest right now with regards to the transfer market, not letting many people know what's going on, hence why we are getting everything from the rumour mill, from articles online. So with that in mind, do we think that Leeds are going to be going in for a Rob Holding? Predictability-wise, I would probably say no. In terms of, do I think he'd fit Leeds? Yes, but predictability-wise, do I think Leeds will go in for it? If we get a Robin Koch, no. If we don't get Robin Koch, predictability-wise goes through the roof for someone like Rob Holding. If he's available, fits the system. The issue for me is he's injury prone. Rob Holding, look at that. His cruciate ligament rupture happened on December the 5th and until August the 10th. And he missed 37 games. And I believe in his tenure at Arsenal, he's missed a large amount of games, a huge amount of games. And, I was talking earlier on about the blueprint of Leeds in this market, signing players who are not going to be injured frequently. That's key, especially going into this season with such a small squad. That needs to be the recruitment model. Liverpool do that very, very well. They sign players who don't get injured, aside from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Leeds need to get that into the blueprint in terms of signing players. They cannot be signing injury-prone players as we have done with the likes of JKA. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Rob Holding. Do you think that is one that Leeds are going to be going in for? Ryan Richards, exactly. He's okay, but he's had numerous injuries last season and this season. Rob Holding, from an Arsenal fan, is a good defender. He's been unfairly treated at my club, in my opinion. And I've heard that numerous times with regards to Holding, not been treated the right way at Arsenal, not really been developed as a football player. But is that because of injury? Is that because of the changing of managers, which obviously happens consistently through a Premier League season? Stones would work for me, says Carol. Holding, a good signing. Good age too, says Damien Allen. Joseph Lewis says he defo taken. Let's see what some of you guys are saying as well. No, rubbish, no liability, holding a joke, Stones. I don't know, to be honest, says Matty. So listen, there's a lot of split. Luke Bond says, I think Koch is the smart option money-wise, but I still want White because we know he fits in the team and he's not going to get injured in the BL system like quite a few signings. I think that's a really, really good point. In terms of just the ability that Leeds. We have to get signings that are going to be able to fit through this season. This season, with a small squad, it is huge at Leeds United, bringing players that are going to have the stamina, the fatigue to deal with the demands of the Premier League. We saw last season with Ben White, how he was able to deal with a 46-game season, plus in the Championship, the most vigorous physical league in the world. Now, do we need a replacement for Ben White that is going to be able to deal with those sort of restrictions, those demands on the body, demands on everything in the Premier League throughout the season? He can't get injured. This individual who we're bringing in cannot get injured because we've got such a small squad. Now, getting someone like Ben White, we know he has that longevity through a season. Robin Koch played nearly every single game for Freiburg this season. So it's that what we need to be looking at. It's not only the ego, it's not only the quality, but it is that ability to be able to stay for the full season for Leeds United with such a small squad. I think that's absolutely essential. Koch is so much better than Holding. A lot of people talking about White and Stones would be great. White is a no-go. Phil Hay said it won't happen unless Brighton randomly change their mind. If I'm honest with you guys, I think Ben White is dead in the water. Not physically, of course, but with regards to the signing, I think we move on. I think Ben White, his name has got to be a thing of a brilliant season last season. We'll hold him to high regard forever. But do I think that's going to happen? No. Now, the next rumour sort of solidified thing that is happening with Leeds United is Sam Greenwood. Now, if there are Arsenal fans in the chat, I'd love to hear your comments. Obviously, we've just been speaking about Rob Holding. Now, with regards to Sam Greenwood, there is a lot of hype around this youngster as Leeds United are set to bolster their youth ranks with the capture of Arsenal forward Sam Greenwood. The Athletic's Phil Hay states the White will pay a six-figure sum to bring the 18-year-old to Ellen Road. Greenwood was linked with AC Milan and Juventus last year and is highly rated in North London. Now, this is one that I wanted to touch on. And once again, the youth products, as we were talking with Lewis Cook, Sam Byram, Charlie Taylor, Alex Mower, in the days where Leeds weren't able to cultivate any signings through transfer fees because we didn't have the money, Leeds were still able to produce youngsters of such a high calibre, get a good sell-on fee with regards to Taylor and Cook, and produce these very, very good footballers. Now we've got into that tier 1 academy status. We can mix it with the Arsenals, with the Manchester Uniteds, with the Chelseas, with the Cities. Now, what I love about what Leeds United are doing now is Cody Drama, Charlie Allen from Linfield, Joe Gelhard. We're bringing in players for the youth system. We're doing it the right way. We're not going out and shelling loads of money on first-team players. We've got a specific amount of targets for that first team who we are nullifying. We're looking at and we're thinking, right, okay, how do we target them? Where is our alternatives? The key blueprint being Ben White and Robin Koch. Where are the alternatives? You know, you look at Buendia, Ben Rama, Harry Wilson. We've got the targets there. That is clear as daylight, but it's how we get those over the line. Now, what I do love about the youth system is Leeds have gone into the Premier League and straight away, youth, develop it for the future, developing prospects for the future. We're getting in and we're doing that deal. We're doing those deals early, which is absolutely pivotal and sustainable in how Leeds United need to be run. We've always been a club that has developed the youth, and we've always been a club that has absolutely prospered from the value or just the playing time of the youth, you know, in our squad. And I think it is absolutely massive that we're getting these players in for the future. And it looks like Sam Greenwood is the latest on the list for Leeds United. Weatherall says, Sunderland fan here, Sam Greenwood came through our academy before he went to Arsenal. He's a very talented young lad. Rebecca Vine, Arsenal fan here. Sam Greenwood is very good. Works alongside Saka and Reece. Won't be a big miss because we have one of the best academies in the world, but very good player, very good signing. So, yeah, there are a lot of people who are talking about Sam Greenwood in a very good light. And it is one of those things where if we manage to keep going on those, you know, that level in just recruiting youth players, youth, I think it's only going to help the club in the future. As Snipe.Genius says, Greenwood is very technically gifted. Hello to all you Arsenal fans as well. Welcome to the In Full Swing with Conor McGilligan. We are a community, a Leeds-based community here who like to talk everything football. We've got a cracking following. If you are here, make sure you slap a subscribe on the video. We've got some great content coming. But thank you so much for new Arsenal fans who are giving me the opinions here on Sam Greenwood. A lot of people who are getting very, very happy in terms of this signing. So, let's move on to the next rumour. Okay, what have we got next? Obviously, with regards to Sam Greenwood, we've got the just a little bit of a rumour here in terms of obviously, there was a question asked just about the signings that are happening at this moment. Phil Hay repeated and said, I understand the twitching. Lots of plates spinning and waiting for things to happen and drop into place. The market as a whole feels very quiet now. This is what is causing fans a lot of stress. I completely understand. It's causing me a tiny bit of stress. The market is very quiet at this moment in time. As I always say to you guys, if you are in full swingers, if you are, solid and staying close to the channel here, you will know that I talk about this pandemic and how it's absolutely ruining the market at this moment in time. The fact that Leeds United were putting 25 million plus add-ons in for a player who's not proved himself in the Premier League in Ben White is just a statement of intent and the statement that we will spend the money if needs be. But at this moment in time, Leeds, we're stepping back and we're looking at targets and it's close to the club, so we don't thoroughly know what's going on. I don't know if Phil Hay knows what's thoroughly going on. It's very close to the club and I'm fine with that as long as we get the players moving. I do think there will be movement this week. I said it last week, but this week there has to be movement, doesn't there? There has to be movement. Now, this obviously is the one that a lot of Leeds fans are talking about in terms of Rodrigo. Reports in Spain suggest that Leeds are preparing their first offer for Rodrigo. Valencia are reportedly willing to listen to offers for the striker, with the club needing to bring some money in amid financial crisis. 25 million, while Atletico Madrid are also said to be interested. Now, a lot of people were slating Rodrigo. Atletico Madrid are interested. This is the sort of caliber of player. Barcelona tried to get him in January. They put 30 million in for him. Valencia rejected because they didn't need to sell, but they need to sell now. Every single player on Valencia squad list is transfer listed apart from Gaia, the left back. So Leeds have the chance with Marcelo Bielsa as the factor. 16 years outside the Premier League and money, financial implications, financial reward for joining Leeds United. And that is there for someone like Rodrigo, who is said to have wanted to be joining and linking up with Marcelo Bielsa at Leeds United, wanted to join a new project. And he said to be interesting. What a fantastic signing he would be. 29, experience in La Liga, 11 assists this season, 8 goals, 34 appearances, and a consistent changing of the guard at Valencia, where he's had to adapt different formations, different managers. Obviously, the financial uproar that has been going on at Valencia. So he's had a lot to deal with there. And that is why I genuinely think that would be an absolutely exquisite acquisition from Leeds United. I think that'd be a really good one for Leeds. Rodrigo won't happen, says CWC, which is it is one of those things where it's one of those where we'll obviously have to see what happens, but I think he'd be a really, really good signing for me, to be quite frank. I think it'd be a brilliant signing. Now we're getting on to the main man, Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent, there's been a hell of a lot of rumours regarding Kent and what's going on and exactly how Leeds are going to be able to, get this one over the line. Now, Ryan Kent is supposed that Leeds have put an 8.5 million bid in for Ryan Kent plus add-ons. Now, whether or not those add-ons are reaching to 15 million, whether or not they're reaching to 12 million, 12 is probably more likely. The first starting bid is normally how that goes in terms of that. Now, Phil Hay has said Wilson is of permanent interest. Orta has always liked him, but Kent was very much on Bielsa's radar last summer before they did Nketiah. Now, this is something that I was talking about earlier on. If you've not catched the streams earlier on the Rumour Mill, Leeds have been monitoring Kent for a long time. Now, I know this just from a bit of information I have been told, but apparently Leeds have been monitoring for a very long time now, and Bielsa is a huge fan, as he is a huge fan of Harry Wilson. Two of the players who fit that mould. They work hard, obviously, through the Liverpool setup. They know the values, the ethics of a cracking club. They'd be able to seamlessly fit into this Leeds United side with regards to quality and egos being minimal, and obviously price not being too high up either. And I think Ryan Kent would be a really, really good signing, as I do with Harry Wilson. I think Kent is one of the absolute starlets. He's Rangers' best player by a country mile. I'd have him over Morelos. Genuinely, I think he brings a lot more. And the interesting thing is, when he's come to Rangers, when he's been part of Steven Gerrard's setup, he's seamlessly fitted into that side. He's absolutely seamlessly fitted into that side, and I think that is a massive thing, because when they come into this Bielsa side, obviously we're going to have 5 or 6 weeks to be able to adapt to this side, and the Premier League's a different level to the SPL. But, you know, someone like Ryan Kent, who's been playing in the Championship sort of in and out, has gone to the SPL, and he's adapted straight away. He's adapted to that, you know, and he's been playing against Celtic. The games I've seen him playing against Celtic, he's been extremely good for Rangers, scored goals. You know, Celtic are, for me, obviously that levels above any other team in the Scottish League, alongside Rangers. So if he's able to adapt to those big games, those huge games, I think he'd transition into this Leeds United side extremely well. But I think it's one of those where a lot, as Matty says, Harry Wilson 100% would only cost 3 or 4 million as well. Yeah, let's have a shout out to Rhiannon as well. Rhiannon absolutely doing amazing jobs on the mods. Rhiannon's one of my mods. She's doing extremely well. Let's have a look. A lot of people talking about Leon Bailey. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but Ken Average. A lot of people saying, to be fair, Ken, I don't want him. However, I trust Bielsa with the club, and I think that's the big thing as well, guys. It is Bielsa. Bielsa wants Ryan Kent. If he wants Wilson, there's reasons behind that. Why does he want these players? You know, and from obviously what you got from a lot of Athletic articles last year, it was Victor Orta, it was the backroom staff who wanted Nketiah, and Bielsa was more keen on Kent, but Leeds needed a centre forward, as I'm sure you do remember. And a lot here from Phil Hay, where, you know, just at the bottom there, I'll read it out to you. In pass over Brighton's White led Leeds to advance their interest in Freiburg centre-back Robin Koch over the weekend. Key, over the weekend. This is what Phil Hay was saying. They're also considering submitting a second offer for Rangers winger Ryan Kent, which we're going to stick to that story, guys. Having failed with an initial offer of around 10 million, Brentford striker Ollie Watkins continues to interest them, and they're at this stage where pieces need to start falling into place. Now, Phil's completely right. Pieces have to start falling into place with Leeds United very soon. An interesting part of that comment as well from Phil Hay is the fact that Watkins is still on the radar. Now, we've seen today that apparently Aston Villa have put a £30 million bid, or they are looking to put a £30 million pound bid in for Odsonne Edouard. Now, Odsonne Edouard, the Celtic player who's absolutely lauded by a lot of European clubs, apparently Aston Villa are looking to put in a £30 million bid, which obviously opens the way for Leeds and Ollie Watkins. There's not been too many rumours with Ollie Watkins. I don't know whether or not Brentford believe they're going to keep hold of him. Obviously, with Ben Rama as well, the window's very different. It's much shorter. Are they going to be able to keep hold of these players? Who knows? But it looks like it's gone very quiet on Watkins and Ben Rama. So can Leeds do a little bit of a sneak attack? Are they talking to Watkins behind the scenes? Obviously, we don't know. I'm not sure Phil knows either. But that's something to definitely keep your eye on. A lot of comments here. Ollie Thomas, thoughts on the potential signing of John Stones? I potentially wouldn't take John Stones. I don't know. It depends. There's a lot of people who would take John Stones just on the what he's done. Now, would Bielsa be able to develop him seamlessly? Yes. Would he fit into a Premier League team straight away? Yes. Has he played under a very good level in a similar system in Pep Guardiola? Yes. So I think I don't know. I'd rather Robin Koch, but John Stones definitely would be above holding for me. Now, as well with Ryan Kent, Leeds coming in. This is from the Scottish newspaper. Leeds coming back for seconds. Leeds United are preparing a £14 million offer for Ryan Kent. The Rangers winger dazzled in the club's 2-0 win over Kilmarnock at the weekend. The Ibrox side have already rejected an offer worth 10 million. And also in that same report, Leeds willing to double Ryan Kent's money to tempt him from the move from Rangers. Now, it's been said that apparently Leeds are going to be offering £40,000-50,000 a week. Can Rangers compete with that? A lot of money being offered there from Leeds United. If we do go to £14-15 million as an SPL club, can you reject that sort of money? Can you reject that in Rangers' predicament at this moment in time? Obviously, a growing club financially, but obviously they've had those implications of years gone by. They're trying to bring players in. But if they lose Morelos, if they lose Kent, is that going to be absolutely curtains for Rangers? Do they have to keep hold of Kent if they lose Morelos? But can they reject those offers if they come in? I don't think they can. I don't think they're going to be able to reject that sort of money. As Gerrard sort of said at the weekend, Leeds are way off with the valuation, but Gerrard can't block the move. He cannot block the move. If Leeds want to go for Ryan Kent, they put the wages, they put the transfer fee, they put their interest, they put Marcelo Bielsa, they put Premier League football in front of him. Can they reject it? I don't think so. So let's move on now. But as well, Steven Gerrard has said this was rejected by Rangers in terms of the last offer, but there has been suggestions that Kent has a release clause. This was rejected, however, by Phil Hay. Steven Gerrard's side have fallback options in place as they prepare to bring in a new attacking player to replace Ryan Kent. Now, that is huge. That is huge. Now, have they got backups? I presume they will have, because Kent, one of their best players, if not their best player, they have to have fallbacks. They have to have fallbacks. Whether or not that's making Roof into a winger that we saw at Leeds or a CAM, I don't know. Roof can fit that role. I think he'd do a job in the SPL as well. But interesting how they have fallbacks. Now, the Rangers Forum, I had a little bit of a look on the Rangers Forum, just on the Ryan Kent thread. According to a Yorkshire newspaper, Rangers want more money up front to enable us to go for our own targets. If true, this would be a mistake, I fear. Would be a huge mistake. Doesn't matter who we bring in. Not so many hit the ground running, which is what I was saying to you guys earlier. Ryan Kent, wherever he has been, he hits the ground running. A lot of people can criticise his assists, his goals, but he's such a dangerous player. And as I said, the reason I talk about Celtic when they play Celtic is because a lot of people see the Scottish League as maybe not at the same hierarchy as the Premier League, which I would agree with you. It is not for me. Just on the standard of teams, we've seen someone like Ryan Edmondson, who's not even getting in the Leeds starting lineup, he's been signed by Aberdeen as a possible starting striker. But when I look at Celtic and Rangers, those two teams, those two games are very high level games. Ryan Kent always steps up for that high level game. He really does, and I think it would be a massive loss just in terms of technicalities and capabilities of this kid. And once again, he's still only young, which we have to bear in mind. In my opinion, Kent won't be good enough. Interesting. Connor, who would you have out of Buendia, Wilson, Kent? I think they're very different players, mate. Who would I probably have? I would love Harry Wilson and Kent. I just think they'd be able to fit into our changing room so well. Young players, young talented players. They've come from that Liverpool setup where it's very similar under Jurgen Klopp. They know the ethos, the values to fit into a hard-working team. You're part of a unit. It's not individuals like we might see with Ben Rama. It's not individuals as we might see with Buendia. It is a collective. It's a team. And I think that's huge. I really do. In terms of developing a side. But yeah, guys, that's me. That is me done. We've got you to 27 minutes with not that many rumours, but I hope I've given you a little bit of an indication on what I'd like, a little bit of an indication on who Leeds are going to be for me pursuing, just in terms of egos, in terms of sort of our ability to get those signings done, and the likelihood, the predictability. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you are new to this channel, there's 508 of you watching now. Thank you so much. It's a Monday morning, and have a cracking week. I'll be back here tomorrow. I believe we're going to be doing a late night Leeds tonight as well, so stay tuned for that one. That will not be live, but it will be a late night Leeds. As I say, guys, if you want to help out, there's a Patreon link below. We've got a Fantasy Premier League below as well. Get your team sorted. We've got a Discord link in the description below. All those things. We're building a community here. We're building a big, big community. I've got some big things coming. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in a bit.